Hey, Julia, are you there? I was just curious as to what exactly it is that you think you're doing right now. What? Me? What in the world could you possibly be talking about? I'm not doing anything at all. I really haven't the slightest clue what you could be referring to. Oh, come on, Julia. Don't you go trying to play dumb on me. I know that you know what I'm talking about, and nothing is going to convince me otherwise. I mean, you do know what today is, don't you? I just can't see how you couldn't know what was going on. I still just don't know what you mean at all. Was there something special going on today? Let me check my calendar. Nope, I don't see anything going on at all, so there. You mean you really had no idea that today is the day that we're having my father's funeral? I know that you knew, but even so, I just can't believe that you would crash into the funeral home stinking drunk and in that garish red dress. Oh, that's right. The funeral was today, right? I guess it really did slip my mind after all. Well, anyways, congrats on the beautiful funeral. You did just a superb job. In fact, you did such a good job that I must have thought it was a wedding instead, and that's why I got so dressed up and festive. Are you kidding me? That has got to be one of the lamest excuses for what you did that I have ever heard in my life. I don't even understand how you can act like this towards me. I know that we're not blood related, but we're still family. I just don't get why you're being like this. Oh, come on. I really don't think that this is even worth getting so upset about right now, you know? I mean, are you really telling me that you can't see the silver lining at all to your old man finally kicking the bucket? Excuse me? Are you trying to tell me that there is anything good about me losing my father? How could you say something like that? What on earth could make you think that there is anything positive about this at all? I lost my father. Don't you get that? Well, I just mean that he retired from his job early, right? And it wasn't because he was rich. It was because he was just too frail and weak to even keep working. Isn't that so? So it sounds to me like your dear old dad was really just a dangling dead weight around your neck. And that's why I think it's great for you that he's finally dead. Now, you don't have to worry about taking care of that freeloader ever again. If I were you, I would be feeling like a great weight was just taken off my shoulders. How could you talk like that about someone else? Someone else who you knew. I don't know what you think you have to gain from acting like this. I know that he wasn't your father by blood, but he was to me, and I don't think that you'd like it if your dad died and I was saying these kinds of things. Oh man, that is so rich. But please don't ever try and lump your dad and my dad into the same category. The fact of the matter is that they are nothing alike. As you should well know, my family comes from a long line of prestigious businessmen and entrepreneurs. In fact, if anything were to happen to my dad, it would just be my little brother who takes over the company after him. But please tell me that you at least knew all of that when it comes to just who you're dealing with and what kind of family that I came from, right? Well, I know that when you say your little brother, you're talking about Jake, my husband, right? Of course I'm talking about Jake, and that's why I was opposed to you two getting married from the very start. I knew that you were just too low-born to ever be good enough to be a real part of this family. And now that you're married to my brother, I think it's just shameful that your dirty blood is going to be mixed in with my prestigious families. You know, I actually did hear that you were pretty against your brother and I getting married, and I have to say that it kind of really hurt my feelings. But even though I understand the feelings that you have about me, I really don't think that that's an excuse to talk about my dad the way you have been. Oh, please, what in the world are you even talking about? It's not like I'm making up any kind of lies or anything like that when it comes to your dad. I'm only telling the truth. Can't you see that? I mean, the fact of the matter is that your dad was a no-good, lousy bum, and that inevitably played into the kind of person that you were trying to find as a husband. I am just glad that that old fart finally kicked the bucket before he could cause any serious damage to my family, its reputations, or our wealth. Julia, please, I don't understand why you have to keep going on and saying such horrible things about my father. What did he ever do to you to make you think like this? I want you to know that my dad is none of the things that you say he is. Not only that, he had nothing to do with why I wanted to get married to Jake either. Oh, please, Hillary. You and I both know that that is just plain untrue. I know that you're lying, and you know that you're lying, so just drop it already, okay? I mean, do you really think that I have all the time in the world to listen to you whine about how much you love your dead old dad? I really have so many more important things to do over that. In fact, I actually have a huge party that I'm about to head out to right this moment. So I have to go and enjoy myself after the dreadful day that I've had putting up with you. Wait a second, are you kidding me? You mean to tell me that you knew it was my dad's funeral, but you booked yourself for a party despite that? Oh, please, do you think that I even put that much thought into you or your dumb dead dad? Neither of you have anything to do with how I decide to spend my time, thank you very much. But if you really must know, the party that I'm going to is actually being hosted at this club for only the most elite individuals and families of the finance world. And I actually happen to go there every day for a meal. So I guess you must finally be starting to understand just how important my family, and therefore me, really are. After all, you can only go to this club if you have an invitation, and I get one every single day. But what can I say? I guess it's just that people there really know that I truly am one of them. It's not a place that some common peasant like you would be able to enter. I see. So that's how you're going to be then. Well, I guess it certainly does explain the way that you came dressed to the funeral. You looked more ready for a cocktail party than you did as a respectful funeral attendant. Well, at least it sounds like you're finally starting to get the message about me after all. But again, stop assuming it's all about you. I always dress up that nice when I go out anywhere. And I don't let myself be bound by petty little dress codes or societal expectations of what I'm supposed to wear. I'm rich, and that means that I can wear whatever I want whenever I want. And that's why I wouldn't be caught dead dressing up in those cheap, ugly clothes that someone like you would be fine being caught on the streets in. Look, all I'm saying is I think you were actually hurting your reputation a lot more than you know by showing up to a funeral in a dress like that. Well, thank you so much for sharing your opinion on the matter with me. But the fact of the matter is that I simply don't care what you have to say on the matter. And why should I have to dress in all black and pretend as if I'm even saddened about any of this when I didn't even care for the man anyway? Anyways, I really don't have the time to sit here and bicker with you all day. I have my adoring fans that I need to attend to, and I'm not going to let some loser like you keep me from them.
Hey, Hillary, are you there? I was just curious if you had a second to talk real quick.
Oh, hey, Jake. Yes, I can talk right now. What seems to be on your mind? Is everything okay?
Well, I'm at the store right now, or I'm almost there anyway, and I was just curious about how much beer you think I should buy while I'm here.
I think if you just bought a 12-pack or a couple of 6-packs, that should probably be enough, don't you think?
If that's what you think, that's what I'll buy. Thanks for letting me know. I shouldn't be taking too much longer to get all this done.
Thank you so much for going out and running these errands for me. You don't know how much it means to me, Jake. My mom's just not in a state to do anything at all right now, and so you and I are basically going to have to be her arms and legs for a bit.
Well, of course, I really don't mind at all. It's really important that we can be there for your mom at a time like this. I mean, I can't imagine what she must be going through after losing her husband.
I know what you mean. Obviously, it hurts knowing that I've lost my dad, but... well, I guess you always forget your parents knew each other long before they knew you. But still, it's just hard for everyone to try and wrap our heads around this new reality that we're all having to live in.
I know what you mean. He was a great guy, and I already miss him a lot. He was always so kind to me, even when you and I first started dating. I felt so lucky to be with someone whose family was so ready to take me in with open arms. I feel like it took off so much pressure that I was feeling while you and I were dating. And now I just feel awful that I was never able to repay all of that kindness that he showed to me before he left.
I really don't think that that's how you need to be thinking about this right now, Jake. I mean, I just know that what my dad cared about was that you make me happy. And since you're still the best person I know who can do that, I just know that you have no debts left with him.
You really think so? I just don't know sometimes. I just wish that I could have said a final thanks to him for all that he did for me and you and us. After all, I feel like I owe so much to your dad for all that he's done. I don't think I'd be the person that I am today if it wasn't for his presence.
Well, I just think that my dad would be telling you that he didn't do anything and that you were already capable of doing it yourself, Jake. Besides, like I said, I think he was just happy that I had found someone who made me as happy as you do and that you take care of me so well.
Well, I just don't ever want to not live up to the person that he thought I was, or that you think I am for that matter, too. After all, both my parents were over the moon when they heard that I was getting married to you. They also told me that they owed your dad so much and could never repay him for what he did.
I see. Well, I'm really glad that your parents felt that way about everything, but... Well, actually, I was talking with your sister not that long ago.
Oh, really? You and my sister were talking? It's kind of surprising. I thought you two generally tried to avoid each other. In fact, I was pretty surprised when I heard that she showed up to your dad's funeral at all. Although from what I was hearing, it sounds like it would have been better if she just didn't show up in the first place.
I mean, really, you should have seen the way that she just burst into there. She was super drunk and wearing this bright red dress.
Are you kidding me? I mean, I heard a little bit about it, but I didn't hear all the details like that. I can't believe that she would show up to a funeral like that.
I know, right? I was just like, I'd just never seen anyone act that way before. She was being incredibly selfish, and it really hurt me to see her act that way.
I really just can't believe that she would take things so far. One of these days, she's really going to have to learn a lesson. Did she do anything else while she was there? What can you tell me?
Hey there, Hillary. I just wanted to check in with you and see how things were going. After all, it's been a year since your old man kicked the bucket, isn't that right? Yes, it has been about a year since my dad passed away, if that's what you're asking. Do you have it marked on your calendar or something? Oh no, it's nothing like that. I mean, after all, your dad was such an important person to my family. Obviously, I know that it's been a year since he passed away. So I was just wondering if you were going to be doing anything to mark the 1 year since his passing? Maybe some kind of dinner or get-together or something like that? You know, I had been thinking about doing something, but I'm actually glad you're messaging me about this. You see, I know that you're just so busy and have such a packed social life that we actually decided not to invite you to the 1 year anniversary of his death, since you're probably too busy anyways. Wait a second. Are you telling me that you really are going to be doing something and that you're inviting other people from my family, but you're not inviting me? I mean, yes, that is basically what I just said, isn't it? After all, my mom is really only just starting to come out of her shell after the loss, and, well, I just know that she also isn't really interested in going out and being with too many people. And I would just hate to drive my mom any deeper into her depression than she already is. But don't worry, we also told your parents it might be best to give us some space as well. But wait a second, are you telling me that your mom is still all messed up from losing her husband even after all this time? All he did was die, for crying out loud. I'm really finding some of this just so hard to believe right now. Do you know that? It's almost funny if you think about it. I know, Julia. It's also because you say things like that I don't want you going anywhere near my mom at all. I really just don't get how she could still be so upset over losing a bum of a husband like that. I mean, if I were your mom, I would be over the moon to finally be free of that. Why do you keep calling my dad a bum? Do you really think that he never worked a day in his life? All of you know that he worked himself hard every single day trying to provide for my mom and I don't appreciate you talking about him like that. Well, I guess someone like you probably would tell themselves that about their dad to make themselves feel better about him, right? But from where I'm standing, it just seems like you've been brainwashed bad. Look, Julia, if you want to know why you're not invited to my dad's 1-year anniversary of his passing, it's because you make comments like that. That's why you'll never get the day when it's happening. Oh, you really are just no fun at all. Do you know that? And to think that I just went out yesterday and bought a brand new dress that I was hoping to show off at your pathetic little death-iversary. I'm sorry, Julia, but if you really cared about me, my family, or my father at all, then you would know that that isn't appropriate to do. Oh, please, you think that I wanted to show up to this lame function just to be there for you and your poor, sad little mom? I just wanted to find a good excuse to break in my new dress. Well, I think it says a lot about the kind of person that you are if you think it's okay to be showing up in a dress like that at a funeral. Well, it isn't my fault if your dad isn't even worth really mourning over. But at least he's finding purpose another way, and that's by giving me chances to dress up. I really just don't even know what to say to someone like you. You are just too much. Do you know that? Oh, what's all this? Are you really mad at me over this? I think that you really need to get a grip and remember just where it is that you stand in all of this. You're a nobody. Don't you get that? Of course I'm mad at you. I'm furious with you. You've been nothing but needlessly cruel, and I don't know why. But now you've really gone and done it. Do you know that? I will get you back for this, Julia. Yeah, I would like to see you try and do anything to me at all. But just know that if you do anything to try and come after me, I am going to make my life's mission to see my brother get a divorce with you. Hey there, Hillary. I just wanted to let you know that I finally found a day for my wedding. Isn't that exciting? I'm finally going to be getting married. Oh, it's just so perfect. Oh, Julia, it's so wonderful to hear from you. And you're getting married, are you? Well, congratulations to you for that. Of course! I am so excited for this, and I just want everyone who can come to be there for my wedding. It's going to be a huge blowout. Well, that is just very exciting for you, isn't it? And just who is the lucky man that you're going to be getting married to? Well, he works for a really big advertising firm, actually. Not only that, but he went to one of the top business schools in the whole country, and I think that he's really on a trajectory for a huge career. We've actually been dating for about 3 years now, but he asked me to marry him a few months ago, and now it's finally happening. Wow. Well, again, this sounds like great news for you, and I'm happy that you're getting what you want. That's right. Although, if I'm being honest, the guy that I'm with right now really did just barely sneak by in terms of who I would have been okay marrying. Do you know what I mean? But anyways, I just wanted to let you know that the wedding day is going to be next month on the 10th, so make sure to add it to your calendar. Got it? Hold on for just 1 second. Did you just text me that you were going to be getting married next month? Is that right? Well, it's a text, so you can just read it and confirm that for yourself, you know. But anyways, yes, I'm going to be getting married next month on the 10th, so look forward to it. But wait a second. If you're going to be getting married next month on the 10th, that's the same day that I was going to be holding the 3rd anniversary memorial for my dad. Oh, wait a second. You don't mean the memorial that you hold every single year but never ever invited me to, are you? I had no idea that that was happening again this time of year. I'm sorry, Julia, but isn't there any way that you could move your wedding day to something else? Excuse me? You think you can just move my wedding day like it's nothing? You really need to get your head screwed on tight. This is a huge event, and we've had this date booked for a while. Although if you're telling me that you're going to miss my wedding all because of your 3 years dead dad, then I think we're going to have a serious conversation. But you never mentioned this at all to me until right now. I had no way of knowing that you would book that date for your wedding. Look, the fact of the matter is that your dad died 3 years ago, okay? I really don't see why you need to keep having these days for him. And besides, I think we both know that my wedding is going to be the much more important event between the two. Wait a second. Julia, please tell me that you didn't actually set your wedding date to this day on purpose, did you? Me? Oh, you really think that I would do something like that? And what if I did do that? What are you going to do about it, huh? I knew it! I knew that it was too big a coincidence. I knew that you set this all up. Well, anyways, I hope you know that you basically have no choice but to come to my wedding now. That is a direct order from me to you. You're not allowed to miss this. Right. A direct order, huh? Well, then I guess I understand what I need to do now. Hey, just what the heck is the matter with you, huh? What do you think you're trying to pull right now? You really have some nerve, do you know that? Excuse me? What are you talking about? What could I possibly be doing to you this time? What's your problem? Oh, please, don't pretend like you don't know exactly what I'm talking about right now. I can't believe that you showed up to my wedding dressed up as if you were ready to go to your lame little memorial service instead. And not only that, but to top it all off, you're stinking drunk as well. What is the matter with you? Why do you act like this? You're just so awful. Oh, no, sorry. I think you've actually got this all wrong, Julia. You see, I actually just came from the memorial service that we held for my dad. And it's just while I was there with my relatives, some of them started passing around a bottle and things went on from there. Oh, come on. Is that supposed to be some kind of a joke or something like that? I really have no idea just where it is that you think you can get off. Besides, all my husband's family is here. You are humiliating me right now. Do you have any idea what the total net worth of everyone sitting in this room right now is? You really need to pull yourself together. I thought I told you that you shouldn't have even been having that memorial service in the first place. You should have listened to what I had to say to you. Well, I know that you told me to do all of that, but the fact of the matter is that the rest of my family wanted to go to the memorial. So it's not like I was ever in a position where I just wasn't going to hold it at all. But even so, that didn't mean that you had to come to my wedding in your funeral dress. I just can't understand why you couldn't change your clothes before you came here. I just really didn't see the point in doing so. I suppose I just really didn't see why I would need to do something like that. Are you being serious right now? You're telling me that you really have no idea why it might not be a good idea for you to come to a wedding dressed in all black? No, it's nothing like that at all. I was just following your lead after all. I mean, you remember what you wore on my dad's funeral, right? So I just figured that since you have such good taste in fashion, that you must know best about what is and isn't okay to wear at these kinds of things. And I figured that if you could dress as flashy as you did for the funeral, then I could dress like a funeral at your wedding. It only makes sense, right? But don't worry, I only came here with the intention of helping you celebrate your special day, and that's it. I don't get this. What are you up to? You're not telling me something and I know it. I want answers. You can't hide the truth from me. I'm really not trying to hide anything from you at all. But anyways, I thought that the reception was going to start soon, so don't you have more important things to attend to? Oh, shut up. Don't you dare try and pretend like you actually even care about this wedding at all. It's all your fault if even the slightest thing goes wrong from now. Oh, I'm sure that thing will be just fine. It's like I said, I'm only here to help you celebrate your big day. That's it. How dare you even pretend like that's what you're trying to do here when you're dressed like this at my own wedding? I really ought to just throw you out. Unless this is what you meant when you told me that you were going to get me back for showing up in the clothes that I did during your dad's funeral. Wait a second, you mean you actually remember what I said to you all that time ago? I would say I'm flattered, but... No, I actually completely forgot about what you told me until today. It just came back to me all of a sudden. But don't worry, now that I see the little game you're trying to play at. Well, I suppose if you know what's going on, then there really isn't much more to discuss between the two of us, right? But I doubt that my brother has any idea that all of this is going on, right? I doubt that he would let you get away with what you're doing right now if he knew you were doing it. But you should also know that he didn't even go to the memorial service because he clearly cares more about me than he does you. Okay, you are more than welcome to feel that way about the situation, but what are you going to do about it? Well, I'll just go tell my brother about what it is that you're trying to do right now, of course. And I know that when he finds out how you're trying to ruin my wedding, that he's going to be furious with you. And then he'll divorce you and you'll be all alone. In fact, maybe I should just kick you out of the wedding right now. Obviously, once I explain to my brother why I had no choice but to get rid of you, he'll take my side over yours. You really think that's how things are going to go for you if you kick me out of your wedding? Of course that's how things are going to go if I kick you out of my wedding. You may be my brother's wife, but blood is thicker than water, and my brother will always have my back. Oh, Jake, are you there? It's just horrible. I can't believe she would do this to me. How could you let her get away with this?
Whoa, what's going on, Julia? Who's getting away with what? I'm really confused right now.
Well, it's your wife. It's Hillary. She's practically blackout drunk and is here at my wedding dressed as if she was going to a funeral. Can you believe that she would do this to me? I tried to tell her to go and change, and she just refused to listen to me at all. I can't believe that your wife is acting this way. You really need to do something about her.
But why in the world would Hillary go and do something like that? That doesn't make any sense to me at all.
I'll tell you why. This is because she just had to have her dumb memorial service on the same day as my wedding. But the least she could have done was change her clothes.
Right, yeah. I mean, I really just don't get why she wouldn't do something like that. Do you have any idea what she might be thinking?
I have no idea why she would do something like this. Are you really telling me that you have no idea?
Well, I just assumed that it had to do with what you did to her a few years ago at her dad's wedding. I knew she was going to have her memorial service today, though.
Hold on a second. You mean to tell me that you knew she was having the memorial service today and you didn't do anything to stop her coming like this?
Well, it's just that she's only doing exactly what you did on the day of her dad's funeral, right? You showed up there in a red dress and got really drunk, remember? So I guess I just thought you might know what she was thinking since you were doing the same thing not that long ago.
Okay, just hold on a second. I really don't think that you can put us in the same category at all. I mean, I did what I did because I'm a fashionista. Hillary is just doing all of this because she's petty.
Wait, what? What are you talking about? Why do you always assume you're better than everyone else?
Oh, come on, bro. Her parents are jobless losers, and that means that she really can't be that much better. Is that right?
Sorry, but you do realize that those jobless losers are some of the largest, most important investors who help keep our company afloat, right?
What in the world are you talking about? Did you hit your head or something? What kind of terrible lies has that woman been telling you?
Look, I really don't know where you're getting your information from, but the family business is not doing well. We're in a really tight spot, and if it wasn't for the kindness of Hillary's late father, then I don't think we'd even be in business today.
But, I mean, are you really telling me that that bum is responsible for keeping our business open?
Not only that, but Hillary's dad has been a huge supporter of ours for a long time. And if it weren't for him, we wouldn't have even gotten to the size that we are today. But he never really had to work since he was collecting so much from our success as well. He wasn't jobless, he was benefiting from our success.
But then, well, that doesn't make any sense. I've been to Hillary's parents' place and it's totally plain. There's nothing special about it at all.
Just because they don't need to show off their wealth in everything that they do doesn't mean that they aren't rich, you know. In fact, you might be interested to know that Hillary's dad was worth just less than our dad by the time of his passing.
That can't be right. That's impossible. You're lying to me. There is no way that he was worth almost as much as Dad.
Of course! How else do you think he was able to support us for as long as he did? And I know all about the horrible, rude things you said about him.
No, wait. This is all just a big misunderstanding. It has to be. This can't be right at all.
Do you have any idea just how much you've hurt Hillary with all the cruel things that you've said about her family? Well, I can't just stand by and let you get away with that anymore.
I can't believe that he wouldn't listen to me at all. How could my brother betray me like this? It's just awful. Well, I tried explaining to you that I didn't really think things would go the way you thought they would, didn't I? In fact, I'm just surprised that you didn't know that Jake was already furious with you for the way that you'd been treating me. But I just had no idea that you were so rich this whole time. Well, yeah, my dad taught me that it's bad form to always be showing off how much money you have to others. And so I guess I just always have been used to living humbly. But, I mean, look, whatever. I just need you and my brother to get out of here right now. I can't have you blowing this for me. Okay, we can do that. But you should also know that your parents were talking to us and they're also not going to be showing up today. Wait a second. Not even my own parents are going to be here at their own daughter's wedding? Yes, that's right. They said they were both just so let down and disappointed in you. They just want nothing to do with you anymore. So then even my own parents aren't going to be here to help me celebrate? How could they just turn their backs on me like this? It doesn't make any sense at all. Yeah, I suppose this is their way of telling you that you're going to be cut off from the rest of the family from here on out. No, that can't be right. It just can't be happening. I know that there's just no way that they would abandon me like this. What can I say except that you brought them to the edge of their patience with you and now they just really don't want anything more to do with a daughter like you. Besides, you've been just horrible about helping them rein in their expenses. You always have to have the newest, most expensive version of whatever it is that you're buying, but you only ever spend your parents' money. I think that they've seen the effect that spoiling you the way that they've been doing has had on you and that it's time for a change. But why am I hearing all of this from you now? Why couldn't my own parents have told me this themselves? Why did they have to tell me this through you? It isn't fair. Oh, they told me that they tried to explain this to you over and over again, but you just wouldn't listen or thought that they were telling some kind of bad joke. But they wanted me to tell you that from now on, you're going to be paying your own credit card bill and you are going to be responsible for all your own expenses. So they don't want you going to them asking for more money anymore. It's over for you. You are all on your own now. But there's no way I can afford to pay for the kind of lifestyle that I have all on my own. How dare you try and pull this on me? You think this means you've beaten me? No, I don't think that there's any winning or losing in a situation like this. Well, fine then. I don't need you and I don't need my family. I don't need anyone except my husband to take care of me from now on. He'll buy me whatever I want whenever I want. Are you really sure that that's how things are going to go for you? You seem to have a habit of putting the cart before the horse. After all, I know about your secret boyfriend on the side, and Jake and I have already told your husband all about the affair. He was really not happy at all to hear about how you've been running around behind his back. But how did you... Oh, this can't be happening. Nobody was supposed to know. This can't be happening right now. Well, it is so. On the other hand, I think that one thing that's not happening anymore is this wedding. It still just doesn't make any sense. Why would my fiancé trust a word that you had to say? I don't think it was my word that he believed. It probably had more to do with all the proof that I had gathered of your affair. And with the 3 years that I've been working on this revenge of mine, I've gathered quite the large file on you. You've got to be kidding me. I can't believe that you would do this to me. Are you really telling me that you've been plotting this whole thing for the past 3 years? Of course I have. Did you really think that I was going to let you get away with trying to tarnish my dad's memory like that? I vowed my revenge that day, and I wasn't speaking lightly about it. But now that I'm done with it, I think I'll take my leave back home. Besides, it sounds like you've got more immediate problems to deal with. See ya! After Jake and I left, we heard later that it didn't take long before the whole wedding began to really fall apart. Julia's fiancé screamed at her in front of everyone and made sure the venue knew that she had been cheating on him for a long time. Then Julia's parents messaged her with the full explanation of her getting cut off. She was forced out of their house and had to find her own place to live. She moved in with a friend, but even so, Julia was forced for the first time in her life to go out and find a job. I can't imagine how difficult it must have been for Julia to lower herself to work among us mere peasants. I heard that she gave up at one point and just kept trying to find a rich man who would want to marry her. Without her family's money, though, no man wanted to marry a woman who couldn't even take care of herself. As for us, Jake and I are still happily married, and Jake is preparing to take over the family company in a few years, as his dad will be retiring soon. My mom is finally starting to become her old self again, and it's meant so much to see the light return to her eyes. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to see more content like this.